Next up, we have a collab. Umaaligid, Sarah Geronimo, and SB19. This is basically a short film. It is from 7 months ago. All right, so let's see. For all intents and purposes, I am going to treat this video like the BU, Bangtan Universe. Just by the thumbnail and the fact that this is 10 minutes long, I'm going to guess there's some depth to this. So we're going to see if we can crack the code on what's going on. For those of you that are relatively new, if you are already familiar with this and you know what the story is and you know all the answers, I will ask you, please, please, please do not throw spoilers in the chat. Because one of my favorite things about doing all of this is interpretation. I live and die by death of the author. They create art that means something to them. They release it to the world, and now it's up to us to interpret that and see what it means to us individually. I may get everything wrong, but I want to see if I can make sense out of it and what kind of message I get from how I interpreted it. That's my goal. Okay, and of course, I invite all of you to do the same. Here we go. Captions. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, there was a note somewhere that said the captions and subtitles here are for the dialogue of the video, I think, and not the lyrics.
Sabi-sabi at maling nakala. Di makatakbo, may nakasunod o nakaharang o maging sa salamin na hawak-hawak mo. Paano nga ba tayo nagkaganto? Kahit magtinong ko wala baliwala. Nakasipat na ingat ka, hinahagilap ka ng mga
Estelle, you call me right now. I'm on the helo, bro. I'm coming. Cheated.
Ingat sa mga walang magawa, mga bunganga, nila makapang, yarihan na yari talaga, pag ikaw ay na, bulungan nila. Huwag kang makapag sapagkat alam nila kung paano makabaon. Hilitin ang iyong tenga, at ang paborito mo na melodiya. Nakakulong sa bulong-bulong, ako'y lulong, bihag ng mga alulong. Makatakas at ang usad ko'y paurong, matali kong maniwala yan lang ang tanong.
Fake news to shake views and make fools, and snakes choose to take roots to make truth. Habang mabulag at katwirang magkalaban, pipilayan ka lang gusto magpalakat.
Get him, Pablo!
Ate,
Ate, wala kang kwenta.
Oh, he figured it out. little bit of a plot twist. Smart. Wow. Umaaligid. Okay. Wow. Wow. So, I can see on your screen it is slightly dark. I apologize for that. So yes, that was a lot. Well, let me give you my 2 cents, okay? First of all, I'm going to give you the overview of the story real quick so you kind of, if you're confused at all, here's my theory on what I think happened, okay? As far as the story goes. Wave tops. So, we have a party with all the bros. The whole crew is there. We've got some other, and right now we've got Victor. So Victor is what we like to call a douchebag, okay? Which thankfully, Josh actually calls him that. Like immediately I was like, Victor, D-bag, check, got it. Josh uses the word perfect, okay? So Victor's a turd, and Josh actually shows up with him as one of his dudes, like they're friends. But as Victor increasingly at the party becomes more and more of a turd biscuit, that's when things start to kind of shake out a little bit. So we got Pablo talking to Lily, and then we have the poker game where Ken loses because Victor cheated, okay? So Victor cheats, Ken loses. Victor gets even more turd biscuity by getting kind of smug. He ends up being a complete D. He breaks the friggin' guitar that Pepe Smith gave to Stell's dad. Now, minor note, later when Stell says, hey, bro, you need to pay for this guitar. Bro, you can't. Look at that. It is signed by Pepe himself. You can't pay for this. It doesn't work that way. So he smashes the guitar, and then Victor ends up having this little situation with Justin. He ends up being a bully to Justin about Justin's dad. There used to be rumors that Justin's dad had an affair with the nanny. But Justin says the nanny was my dad's cousin, okay? So Victor's just being a turd. Josh starts to get pissed at his buddy Victor and is like, hey, bro, you need to chill out. Like, you just got to chill. The night progresses. And then we have Pablo talking to Ate. And I think initially she was with Victor? I'm not sure. Point being, when Victor ends up with Lily towards the end of the night, and Pablo walks in, Rose walks in, or I guess Ate walks in, is when things start to escalate even more. And this is the final straw where this dude is about to get 19 ass whoopings. It's probably how they got their band name. Yeah, so he probably had some roofie or something. And then he essentially gets what's coming to him. So he ends up paying for the guitar and the problems, but in a very different way. Because I think it was like Pablo or somebody ends up grabbing a brick, and then justice is served, essentially. Okay? So that is, and then the twist to this is that initially, when we had this here in the beginning, you notice that it started with not just the mug shots and the line, but everybody says, it's me, I did it. Now, my first thought, which I was going to call out immediately, was, oh, they're all covering for somebody. Every single one of them. Because they all agree with whatever happened, they're covering for somebody. The little plot twist that I mentioned in the end was that they weren't covering for anybody. They literally all did it. this guy, not this guy, this is Ken, of course, but Victor McD-bag ends up getting what's coming to him from all of the people that he hurt. So this is literally full circle karma. I like the fact that they made Josh one of his guys, like one of his boys, when he arrived at the party, and then Josh turned on him. I mean, it's however we word that, but Josh's loyalty is more to the good guys than Victor, which I like that. I like that they did that. Okay, so Ate was with Victor. Victor was the date that they were talking about. So we kind of watch the story build. We see all the wrongs that were done to everybody involved by Victor. And then in the end, he gets what's coming to him. But they all stand strong, and snitches get stitches. Oh, there it is. The brick comes into play. Definitely digging the Stell hair. And this right here, I love that shot. That crazy ass, this is what you drove me to. Fantastic. So Wood says, I still took it as they were covering. It didn't show exactly who did it. I don't know if I agree with you, pal. I'm going to tell you why. I think the reason they did this, the way they did it, was to mitigate the actual violence of the scene, right? Because I think that while everybody gets their hits in, right? And the fact that Victor gives Stella a titty twister is just like, you're going to get a little extra slap in the mouth for that one. So everybody's pissed off, but there is a moment, I think, where it becomes clear who did it. Right there. This right here, we see the brick for the first time. The brick is still in one piece, and we see that it's Ken. Boom. And then we also see, this is where you might be right that they hit it a little bit, because right here, Justin, is it Justin? There's another point with the brick. I thought it was Justin's shirt. That look right there is great. No, maybe not. Yeah, it looks like the only brick shot is with Ken. But I do think the point of all of it was that they're covering for somebody, but also that they all kind of did it. I think that's really smart. That's really smart. Damn, that was good. And yeah, whoever it was said they got some acting skills. Absolutely. Yet another reason I love these dudes. I thought the song was great, honestly, but it went perfectly with the video, but I have no idea what the song was about. No lyrics, good song. But the video is fantastic. That's good. Good storyline, good trajectory. I wasn't asking any questions. It still kept me kind of pulled along. Very well done. Yep, that was good.